Hello friends, this is our third and the last lecture on Marxist literary theory, Marxist literary criticism. So we have already seen in our first two lectures Marxist categories of thought, that is historical materialism, dialectical materialism, hegemony and base and superstructure, and the second lecture was devoted mainly to base and superstructure, and also we analyzed some text from Canterbury Tales to random to T.S. Eliot's The Wasteland. Yes. So today what we are going to do is, you remember the last sentence, that is text creation, Frederick Jameson. Text creation and text interpretation cannot be, that is it, you cannot do it, cannot take place in isolation. Because a society reflects the text, the culture of the society, the politics of the society, culture, politics, then the way of life, that is culture again. The power relations, hegemonic relations, power relations. These things you can see in the text. Any text you can take, then you will find that. See, according to Marxist critics, a text is a product and the author is a producer. That's how they look at it. There's nothing aesthetic about a text. As the formalist would say, the formalist will enjoy the form, the style and all those things. But for these people, it's no such thing. They are not concerned much about that. What is inside that? What the text says, that's what they are interested in. Understand? So now today what I am going to do is that just give you a very quick review of some of the great Marxist critics. The first one, of course, comes from Hungary, and his name is George. In the last lecture also I told you, George Lukács. And what is his contribution? His contribution is reflectionism. Reflectionism. Sorry. Reflectionism. Reflectionism, or what we call a vulgar Marxism. Vulgar Marxism. That is his contribution. That means a society, what reflects the society? The power relations. Of course, it's all about power, because economics means, economic determinants means modes of production. Modes of production will control those who own the materials of production, those who own the economy. They are the powerful people. And as Bertrand Russell says, the strong will bully the weak. You can't escape from this. This is the law of the world. The strong will bully the weak. Bully means create problems for the weak. That's there you can see. The caste relationship will be. Religion you can see that. So according to George Lukács, a text reflects the society that produces it. That is, in other words, he says the base influences the superstructure. Or the base, you can see, controls the superstructure. Superstructure is also one of the items there. Listen, a text is not aesthetic. It's nothing like a powerful frenzy of imagination that produces this text. The text is social realism. What you find in the society, you will find reflected in the. This is what it is. So this is called vulgar Marxism, or what you call ideologies. You can see. You see, examine the ideologies. You find ideology means a system of beliefs by which we all live. You have got different kinds of ideologies now. Like Marxist ideology is one. Capitalist ideology is another. You have got the feudalistic ideology. So different ideologies. Ideology means a system of beliefs that we follow. Listen. So this you will definitely find in a text. And the second great author is the Algerian-born French philosopher Louis ought to serve. Louis ought to serve. He has got two ideas, two contributions. One is interpellation. Interpellation. And the other is, first is, the second one is production theory. Production. Not producing materials, but you will see what is it. Interpellation means the upper class or the bourgeois. They manipulate the society, the proletariat or their subordinates in such a way that they thrust their ideology. Whose ideology? The ideology of the upper class on the subordinates. They manipulate it. This is called interpellation. Interpellation. For example, let's take the 18th century English novel. 18th century English novel is an upper class. So what they tried to do this is, they wanted to indoctrinate, so to say. Indoctrinate, or they wanted to thrust, that's the best word I think, their ideology, the upper class ideology on the lower class people or the proletariat. This is called interpellation. The second is production theory. That's another interesting thing. That's a kind of, emergent domination or emergent hegemony. There is Raymond Williams in his culture, studies on culture, he speaks about three types of hegemony. One is residual hegemony, second is dominant hegemony, and third is emergent hegemony. In this case, what happens is, now you empower the proletariat, or they receive the ideas from the upper class, and they start living based on that. And then after some time, they themselves would produce another hegemony. Hegemony means power relations, that's all. Hegemon is a Greek word meaning leader. So when the leader tries to influence or tries to bring or introduce, we can say, or inculcate the ideology, his ideology, or the ideology of the group of leaders, then what happens is, and that is not through violence but by persuasion, by methods of education and so on, you call that hegemony. Simple example is, you can take that the introduction of English education in India. That is a kind of hegemony, because it was not for creating, say, forming individuals according to the evangelic lines or according to the ideology of the gospel. It was for English education they introduced for the sake of creating clerks, babus, for their company, to work in their company at a lower wages. You got the point. So this is hegemony. The upper class, in some way or the other, when they inculcate their power, or when they make you imbibe their way of living or their power through persuasion and not violence. That is the point. Or exercising power relations through persuasion, that is hegemony. I think that is now clear to you, isn't it? Yes. So I am thinking that it is clear to you, we proceed. So in production theory, what happens, Now, let's think like that, a proletariat group. They have been empowered. And then what will they do? They will produce their hegemony to control other groups. That is called production theory. And this is the another contribution. Like, whatever happens, whether it is interpolation or production theory, it's about a play of hegemony or power relations. Or as I already told you, as Russell said, the strong will bully the weak. That's it. Understand? Now when we come to the third group, third author, that is Terry Eagleton, the British philosopher and Professor Terry Eagleton. And that is, what he says is that again the same thing. To explain a literary work fully, you have to consider 4 points. What are those points? He says, first, you should see what is the political tendency of the work. What is the political tendency of the work? That is Terry Eagleton's political tendency of the work. See that? To examine the text, first you should see the political tendency of the work. That is, whether it supports upper class ideology or whether it is in the line of exploiting the lower class, whether it is going towards dictatorship, whether it is going towards the oligarchy, power of the rich people. So there are many tendencies like that. Or whether it is going in the direction of democracy. See, these are different political tendencies. So you have to first study that. What is the tendency, political tendency of that work? See, the second point is that you should see the class constructs, class divisions of the society. That you should see in the text. Class division. Because ultimately class divisions will lead to class war. So you have to see in what way it is organized. If the basis, whether it is economic, whether it is knowledge-based class division, whether it is caste-based, you have to see that. Understand? And then the next point he says is that, see whether you can find out the narrative of class struggle. The narrative of class struggle. See that? In a text whether you can find the narrative of class struggle. Already something is coming up. Is there an impending struggle? Are we to wait for something, some violent action? That's what he says. So that is the third one. And the fourth one he says, of course, that is whether the text supports or subverts the ruling class ideology. The ruling class ideology. Whether the text supports or subverts. Some certain texts are there, no? Support and subvert. One such a text is Charles Dickens' novel Hard Times. See that? Or William Morris's novel News from Nowhere. Then actually what happens is it is subverts, not supports. Or you see, if I will give you another example, a very simple example. You might have read that story, Dr. Premchand's story, that is Coffin, Shroud. You will find all this, to analyze that story, the story of Gisu and Mathew. What happens to them is that the Madhav's wife dies and they want a shroud, the dead body, to cover the dead body, they want a shroud. That should be a new cloth, that is the system, that is the social system. So there what you see is this, the tendency, political tendency of the world. That is the social system. That is rooted in the politics of that society. Then you find class divisions there. You have got the rich landlord, the exploiters, and also the poor peasants who work day and night. See, therefore, seeing the poor peasants work day and night and still they are exploited, Gisu and Madhav don't work. That's it. If they work for a day, 3 days they take holiday. They will declare holidays for themselves. And they can go around enjoying. It's because of the system. And then you find the narrative of class struggle is already there, because towards the end of the story you will see Gisu says to Mathew, his son, that the rich, they are exploiting us with both hands. See that? If there is a group of people like Mathew and Gisu, they can organize, they cannot do that. Can the subaltern speak? Spivak asks, and the answer is no. Can the subaltern speak? I have given about 21 lectures on post-colonial writings, and Spivak I have discussed at length. Can the subaltern speak? If you have time, you can go through that. And of course, if it is useful for you. That is the narrative of the class struggle. It's very clearly it says. In the rich, they are exploiting the poor with both hands. That is the class narrative of a class struggle is hidden there. This is a very simple story. If you have not read, you can read it. It's about 5 or 6 pages. That's all. You can, this is what you, if you read that story, keeping these things in your mind, you will say, how it has been done. See that? And then the last is supporting or subverting ruling. Subverting. 100% you can say it is subversion. So that they hate these landlords. And so what happens is that they don't buy the shroud. Instead, at the end you know the story, those who know the story, they drink and they enjoy and then forget, they go to sleep. The dead body is there in their hearts. Nobody to look after. So that is really, it's a revolutionary story. Because many things are hidden. You can read between the lines. You can read a revolution between the lines. You can read dialectical materials. You can read historical materials. You can read base and superstructure. So then what comes to your mind is text creation and text interpretation cannot take place in isolation. Frederick James. Understand? Like that, if you take any novel, or even why should I say even poems, any literary artifact, if you take, you will find that hidden in that. That's what I told you in the beginning. This is new, old wine in new bottle. You take all the canon, for example, and start looking at it with the lens of Marxism. You will find there is political, there is economic aspect, political aspect, there is a class war aspect, there is exploitation. Exploitation is the platform of the class war. Understand? Yeah. So this you will find. Already we have seen Shakespeare, political Shakespeare we have seen. Understand? So that is it. And then you have, so these are the 4 things that you should. Eagleton is very clear about it. It says any text, if you analyze, you should go see these things. Whether it is the tendency of the work, exploitation and other things like that, class divisions, narrative. And this story is really a very good example for a Marxist analysis. Marxist analysis of the text. That's why I told you to do that. And then Frederick Jameson says, that's the 4th great critic, is an American, Frederick Jameson. This is Frederick, I have been quoting now, I am quoting him. What he did actually was, his contribution, he also says that they based on superstructure and so on, but his contribution is, he used Freud's methods to analyze economic situations. What did Freud do? He said, if you try to understand the repressed consciousness of individuals, you can make a better understanding of that individual. Repressed consciousness will tell you. So here, Freud, using the same method, he says, you find out or study the repressed political consciousness of the people. Unconscious, the political unconscious. Freud says it is repressed unconscious. Here, following him, Frederick Jameson says it is repressed political unconscious. Political is always connected with economics. There can be no political without economics, there can be no economics without political. Understand? So therefore when we say political, it is understood. So political, you try to understand the repressed political unconscious of a society or an individual and see whether these things are found in a text. Then you can understand the text much better. So his contribution is applying Freudian methods to social and political analysis of texts, individuals and the society. Understand? He also said that there is nothing like divine inspiration, nothing like what he says, that artistic endeavor. All what you find is the reflection of the society. Interestingly, you will find that these Marxist critics also, they touch feminism, post-structuralism. Of course, these are things that when you consider Marxist literary theory, you have to have some idea about these things. Post-structuralism, then feminism and so on. Because in feminism also you find this exploitation you find. Understand? And post-structuralist tendencies you will find in texts. So that's why he says, that's why I told you, there may be, because we will be taking this up later, series of lectures I will be making. If you find that my effort is beneficial to you, useful to you, somehow you try to inform me so that I can, it's a kind of a, what's called, you will say, no, I will become more enthusiastic. Otherwise also, I am doing it with a total, like a mission. It's a mission for me. Because I taught English literature for 30 years in a college, and also in some other places after retirement. So I think that it's a kind, I have seen students struggling with this cultural studies, for example. Cultural studies. So about 16 nowadays I have taken and given lectures, exhaustive lectures, right from Raymond Williams up to, you can say, Bhaskar Mukhopadhyay. There's a series of what they have done. Because I have found that the students going here and there, and some students, they find it very difficult when they read the Two Paradigms by Stuart Hall. You also may be finding it difficult, or it is easy for you. If it's easy, it's wonderful. Yes. So I have done a lot of work on that, and I get some feedback saying that these are useful, you are doing some good work and so on. Also there are negative comments. People are making negative comments also. It's okay. I welcome that also. I hope that I have tried to give you an idea about what is Marxist literary criticism. I told you about that it's not a literary theory like Ars Poetica or Aristotle's Poetics and so on. But I said it's Marxist categories of thought. When you apply for reading and studying text, that is Marxist criticism. And the basic, so you can say the key, according to the Marxist critics, the key to analyze the text is base-superstructure relationship. Base superstructure is an architectural metaphor. Base means the foundation of the building. Superstructure means the rooms, the walls, the windows, the doors, the story, one after another, the terrace and all those things. That is superstructure. Now in this case he says economic is the superstructure, modes of production, means of production, land and all those things. That is base. Superstructure is literature. Literature is an institution. Frederick Jameson said, literature is an institution. Understand? So, like that. So, these institutions are supported and influenced by the base. So, literature is influenced by the base. Understand? Then you have got other tendencies like, for example, interpolation, production theory. Then Freudian methods are used here, as Frederick Jameson has said. And then vulgar Marxism or reflectionism. Okay? So there are some ideas. I think up to this PG level, I think you will be satisfied with this. Or if you want more of this, of course, if you inform me, somehow you manage to contact me. You can contact me. I have my site englishforme.in. Okay. So if I am useful to you, you can contact me for making me more useful to you. All right. Then till we meet again. My next lectures will be on feminism. I will be doing that a couple of lectures on feminism. In fact, I am preparing, so you can expect it within 10 or 15 days' time. Okay. So till we meet again, bye. Have a nice day. Enjoy.